So we're going to put that aside, and now we're going to talk about how you would do, or the stuff that you could do with spotters for a spotter training session. Okay? Just to back up, remember, spotter training is probably done on a one-on-one basis. You put the monitor on here, you have this opened up, and your spotter's sitting here, right their neck over, looking at this screen here. Okay? So your spotter's sitting over here and your screen's right here. To make it easier for everybody here, we're going to put the spotter screen up there. I'm just going to continue to fly the same mission. And up here in the top corner again with the CVT, let's go with left spotter. Okay, so that's the view of the left side of the wing, the airplane. You can see the strut because we're in a 172. Okay, and you guys have the here we go, we're turning. So 3 clicks of the A button, and we're doing a rate 2 turn to the left, which in some aircraft will put you right into a spin in the CVT. Oh, that's if you go straight to rate 2, but I didn't. I pushed the button 3 times, so if you do that, then it's okay. But if you just go and click on rate 2, then it doesn't like that. So I'm just going to fly back to the beginning of that leg, so that you have an idea what's going on. And so some of the things that you would want to do is put a target out in the playing field for spotters to have a look at. And down here in the bottom corner, let's put this.
Start your rate 2.
Down here in the bottom corner is the target placement tool. And what happened there? Oh, I probably went the wrong way.
You wanted a rate 3.
Actually, good navigator here would take us to the left, right? Because we missed the start of the. Oh, actually, the CSP is over. The search area is here.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do 270 so I can hit the end of the line. You guys do turns inside, right? So you'd be hitting the end of the line anyways. But anyhow, target placement is down here. It has air and ground, and there's been requests for some additional target types. I don't think that this, theoretically, the CVT precisely represents the ground, the object size on the ground with how big it is on the screen. But airplanes are hard to find. They're just tiny. So if you want your spotters to actually have something to find, switch it to the naval option, and the default one is the fishing boat. And then so it wants the target type, and I've got this set for naval, and then for some reason it keeps going back to, there we go, the fishing boat. And all you have to do is just put in, it wants a distance to the target, put in 1 mile, and then it wants a bearing, you can put in 0. And then you hit add target. And if you see right here on the screen, my instructor station screen, right there is my my fishing boat that I just told it to put up. I can just pick it up and drag it with the mouse and move it somewhere else. So I don't have to get too excited about where in the world I put my target. I can just put it anywhere and then drag it over to where I need it. So we have a left spotter. I'm going to drag it down so that it's off to the side. It's in a good spot for the spotter to likely have a chance of seeing it. And there's our fishing boat drifting by. Now I'm just going to pause this for a second. So there's our fishing boat. Everybody can see that. If you can't see it, I don't know if I can do this well. It's yes. Now do you see it? So on the, I'll slide back here a little bit. Oh, what else do? Oh, that's a good idea. Thank you. Although we haven't had lunch. Make this a bit smaller. So I'm putting my instructor station up here where you can see it. I'll try to. So I won't go any smaller. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, down here. Okay, down here, the bottom of the instructor station, it tells me that the clock position of the fishing boat right now is at 8:40. And that it's 0.38 of a mile abeam us, and the distance actually is 0.39. It's pretty much the same because it's almost a beam anyways. But if the target were, and I don't know if it'll update when I move it, so I just need to resume there. Okay, now it's at 11 o'clock. You can see down here 11 o'clock. And it's 0.86 a beam, but it's 1.5 miles away. You see the difference? So you can predict that it's going to be, within about 1 mile when you get to it. But if the spotter calls it at 11 o'clock and tells you that it's 2 miles away or 3 miles away, then you can talk about distance and stuff like that. So let me move this back out of your way. And you can't see the target anymore because I moved it. I will run the simulator some more. So it's 0.8 or so off to the left, and it's 1.5 miles ahead of us, which means it should be behind the
Should be on
ahead of
shore.
the strut there, right?
Beach it.
Man, were they going?
Yeah, I can see why they didn't make it to home. They've run aground. I didn't mention, but there's a thing. There's a checkbox down here on the instructor station that says highlight, and that's the thing that puts the little searchlight on the top. And if you've got an airplane target, I'll put one of those on there for you so you can see. So I just did the same thing. I dropped it 1 mile ahead of us, and so I just moved it so that
There it is.
right there. So it's just tiny. But so the cone would be helpful if your spotter is not seeing it, to draw their attention to it. But when you do see something, oops, let's look outside. So there's our strut. I'm just looking back. No, I'll have to put the strut so you can see it. If you mess up the view here so that the spotter, you're not looking out the window properly anymore, then up here on the spotter simulator, I'll move it back over here so you can see. Options, head tracker recenter, and you see the view changed in the background there. That puts your view back out so that you're just looking behind the strut again. Okay, so that's under options, head tracker, recenter. And what I've been doing to change the view here is the right mouse button in the spotter view. If I push the right mouse button down, then I can redirect the view. So this is what I do instead of using the head tracker. Is the pilot instructor moves the view of the window. So, for instance, one of the things I like to talk about with my spotters when we're doing call-around practice here. So there's our airplane.